The button has been pushed. Hello and welcome. What up, boys?
What's up, fellas?
I need a new phone.
God, at least you didn't curse. Remember, 10
Yeah.
seconds. Talk about this last week.
Hey, listen, I have not said a single curse word yet.
Yeah, but you should now because this idiot, he's like, hold on, guys, I'm coming home from the tavern. I'm coming home from the tavern. Then he sends us a message. He's like, hey, guys, I got to go back out. There must have been a hole in my bag, and I dropped my phone, and I got to backtrack and find my phone. Show the people.
Yeah. I mean, realistically, it's pretty considering, this would have fallen out of my bag going like, I don't know, 50 or 60 on my motorcycle. So the damage looks to be more from being run over than it is the impact, which is nice. And it's like the one time I didn't have the GPS on, so I couldn't, find my phone. I just had to backtrack. But thankfully, it wasn't that far away from the house.
Looks in better shape than you. So
yeah. It's I was really excited to trade that in and get a fancy new phone, but I won't be now. But that's okay.
Probably get an iPhone for free.
Nah, I'm not doing that.
He's a Steve Jobs hater.
Yes,
He pissed on his grave.
I did. I wish. I put it on my resume if I did. No, that's fine. But if I did something like that, that would just be more about like I'm going to pee on a rich guy's grave. It doesn't matter what rich guy it is. You know what I mean?
Well, let's talk about not rich guys. So we are having a second episode for the first time. We're staying on a similar topic. We'll talk about some other stuff. This is just going to be an episode with Shay, Jared, myself. We just got done. New show comes out on Mondays. We just got done with the Huntsville run at Billy Strings, which was fucking fire shows, by the way.
Fire.
I was a little surprised that Billy played Catch and Release without Vince, and then he brings Vince on literally the next song, and then they rip through a bunch of stuff together.
Half the set. Yeah.
So that was super dope. But I wanted to give a huge props and congratulations to the men and ladies of Highway Prayers for Appalachia. So we got a bunch of photos from them, and I'm just going to run through. They filled a 16-foot U-Haul, probably 60% full. They had 33 heaters, nearly a dozen tents, a bunch of blankets, propane tanks,
awesome.
Hoses, over 30 hoses. They got a bunch of filters. They actually got 2 full chainsaws.
Nice.
Oil. Yep. They got a bunch of pet supplies, feminine hygiene products. They also got over $1,500 in gift cards.
Nice.
So they did in just 2 nights. That shakedown was fucking crazy, right? I want to give a shout out to Huntsville because the guys at the Orion hooked them up. It was $50 per day for a vendor spot. They donated that spot to Highway Prayers for free. They also Robert, who we had on last week, he's the guy who's been putting up the QR codes for our different nonprofits. They let him hang the banner that was on the truck inside the stadium too. So we haven't gotten the official numbers from Robert, but it has been so successful with those QR codes that we're going to continue to do that and start sending them to all the shows for the rest of the tour. We'll be updating with more of the nonprofits that we've been given. But those guys are kicking ass. If there are people out there that want to do something similar at some of these upcoming stops where they want to take donations and figure out how we can get it to North Carolina, we would love that. Obviously, the people in North Carolina, East Tennessee, Virginia, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, these people are still struggling. There is still a lot of help that they need. And that is going to come to us and Melodies of Relief. So we launched the website late last Monday. Fucking Christ, was it a clusterfuck. We're using a third-party application to put our bid items. When we initially released it, we were having issues with the white-on-white color, so nobody could fucking read anything. Then we thought we fixed it, and then we found out when you got to the second page when you're actually placing a bid, it went back and reverted to white on white, so people couldn't know what the fuck that they were plugging in or what they were bidding for. So what I want to come out and tell people is with the auction site, it was set for Wednesday midday to stop for our first round of items. I'm going to push that till Friday at the time of the show for next week. So around 6
You just want
o'clock-
everyone to get paid one more time.
Yeah. Well, I want
That's
us
right.
to raise as much money as possible. So we're not getting paid
Me too.
shit. We're not
No,
getting
that's
paid
right.
shit. What I want to make
Let
sure
everyone
is,
get that one more paycheck.
oh, yes, no, and then something that they can then donate back to. But what I want people to
Right.
realize is, A, we knew there was fucking issues with the website, right? I had half a dozen people reach out to us. I mean, Jared, even you yourself, you're like, Cody, I bid on this item and it was just a spinning wheel of death and I never got any confirmation. And I was like, what the fuck? Hold on. And then I get in.
And I tried at different points throughout the week.
And I went into the back end and then I sent you a picture of it. And lo and behold, what did it say? Jared Sperry with a fucking bid. And you're like, what the fuck? So what I want people to know is if you are having those issues, please let us know. We can get them fixed. We think that we have the site working. I can't control that third-party application. So it has been a little bit of a clusterfuck. That being said, we're also going to release a bunch of new items on Monday for this week. We started with a lot of big ticket items last week. There are a bunch of items that have absolutely no bids. These are things that are at 25 or 30% of the value of what they're worth is the opening bid. So go in there, check it out. We're going to do a much better job this week of sharing it into our different groups and getting it in front of people. But I also wanted to talk a little bit about some of the stuff that we're adding. I will say that our biggest ticket items were the hotel and tickets for Billy Halloween in Baltimore. I think right now that's going for just under $700, which doesn't even cover what the cost of just the hotel would be. So that's still a killer deal. I think right now the winning bid for the first pass at the Mishawaka is like $150. That's almost $1,000 value. So if people don't understand, the Mishawaka pass literally gets you into any show at the Mishawaka. You do not need a ticket. So there was some huge names that came and did surprise shows. Who's that DJ that just came to Pepsi?
Fred again,
bro. So he played a surprise pop-up show.
Guy's name.
Bro, but he played a surprise pop-up show at the Mish, and they had over 60,000 ticket requests for 1,000-person venue, right? With that fucking pass, guess what? You're in. So let's drive that up. Let's support the people that are supporting us. Shay, I wanted you to talk a little bit about, was the guy's name Dylan?
Dylan.
Planet Group. God damn it, Shay.
No, that's Dustin.
Dustin.
I was like, Dylan, no,
Dustin.
Yeah.
All right,
Dustin.
tell us about Dustin and what's going on.
Dustin is, we've never met personally, but a mutual friend connected me to him. And I think he used to directly work for Planet Bluegrass. Anyone who knows
over a decade.
For over a decade. But then now my understanding is he's he just kind of contracts out and does different things. I know he runs the Green Sky merch right now. And he had reached out, and we reached out to him. And I think you had said you had confirmed they had donated some passes to Rocky Grass next year, correct?
That is correct. So we're going to
get what is it? One or two?
Two tickets to Rocky Grass with camping. So
yeah, that
whole weekend at Rocky Grass. Yeah. Fucking awesome.
That's a much more look it up if you're not familiar with it. It's a much more accessible festival than Telluride. Like we all love Telluride, but it's a whole big thing to get up there and do it. Rocky Grass is just at Planet Bluegrass in Lyons.
Don't you fucking shit on it. Don't you shit on Telluride, okay?
It's just harder to get to.
Our pride and joy.
I mean? I know, I love it, but it's
drag my children 8 hours behind the minivan. Okay?
I had a blast, but if you can't make that.
Lyons is less than an hour away from
less than an hour from if you're anywhere on the Front Range, that's an easy get. And the camping down I've done a couple of festivals at Rocky Grass, and it's a great place. Planet Bluegrass, and it's a great little venue. So that's a real big get. Big shout out to Dustin for that. Thank you. And remember, this is for festivals next year, not this year, because all this stuff's already come and gone for 2024, but this will get you in next year.
Yeah, Dustin from Magoo actually won the Flat Picker of the Year at this year's Rocky Grass.
Dylan from Magoo. This is why we're fucking. Dude,
My brother's
names are just
so it must have fucking
names are a construct, bro. I'm not worried about it. But that is true. Dylan, the dobro player for Magoo, won first place at Rocky Grass this past year. The lineup this year, the lineup every year is always really good. Get in there, bid on those tickets. Let's drive the value up, and not only make some money for people, but get you in there to have a good time at the show.
And I know that a lot of you guys have seen us out, whether it was Fish Lot or at Renewal, and we were giving away tasty beverages. That's because of our lovely guy, Jared. And Brack, did you want to talk a little bit about that fucking fire-ass poster that we're going to put up, and then some of the other things that you have that you're going to be putting on the site?
Yeah, so first and foremost, I've got a Hootenanny 2018 poster, which is featuring Mike Gordon, the hardworking Americans, a couple guys from Leftover Salmon, and of course our main man Billy Strings. So we're gonna be throwing that up. Yeah, pretty killer lineup. And it's crazy to think that Billy wasn't even playing on the main stage. He was playing out behind the restaurant, just on some little shed. But crazy where we've come in 6 years.
Look at our boy now.
That's right. Now
we got
we've got one of those coming up. I think we've got a snowboard or two from Never Summer, one of our Never Summer Breck Brew collabs. So we'll get photos up of that. I'm not sure what board we're gonna have, but one or two of those for sure, and then another merch swag pack
from Breck Brew.
Yep.
For sure. And then
and then I'm also working on Never Summer. I've been in contact with those guys as well, see if they've got anything on their end.
That's awesome. And then I know that we've been getting a lot of artists and vendors that have been reaching out. I know that we've put some of our own personal poster collections onto the auction site to try to build some more momentum and try to raise as much money as we can. I saw that fucking King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard folk, they raised over $30K. So I'm like, awesome. Motherfuckers. Okay, we can't let these.
We've got work to do.
We can't let these Australians show us up, you guys. We just fucking can't. So we're going to be working diligently on getting all those auction items up. Please feel free to reach out to us on social media, email, message, fucking smoke signal, carrier pigeon, whatever you need to. Get in contact with us. We're trying to raise as much funds as possible. And it actually comes, so the Mishawaka is giving us a second season pass now. So we will have 2 of those up. But Dan Maladnik and the Mish, Danny at the Mish, have actually reached out to us. We were talking, we were having delusions of grandeur and like, hey, what can we do? And they hooked us up with, is it nickel 150?
100 nickel.
100, see, fucking dyslexia, bro.
100 nickel.
So 100 nickel is a bowling alley venue in Broomfield, right? And we had been talking about like, hey, we're trying to figure out about doing like a benefit show or something that we can get people in and figure it out. So we actually have 3 bands that have already come on and said that we're going to fucking do this. We got the venue. They are giving us PA lighting. They're doing the ticketing for us. So we are officially putting on a benefit show, boys.
Yes, sir.
I'm excited.
Yeah, it's as official as it can be at this point, I would say. We're going to now comes the fun part of trying to promote it and get a poster and everything made. But I'm hoping it'll be a fun one. I've never been to that venue, but a couple, one of the artists that had agreed to do this had said it was Brandy Ray from either Brandywine and the Mighty Fines or the Mighty Holler. You've seen her near to those 2 bands. She has played a few shows there and sent me some pictures of it. It looks really cool. I mean, it's so I'm pumped to check it out.
And we are going to see her with Mighty Holler because
Mighty Holler, yes, it's the Mighty Holler, yes.
We are going to be debuting this as Bluegrass and Bowling. So what we do is we have a buddy who we actually interviewed just recently.
Can you bowl there? Like, do you know? Did you ask about that? Because we haven't really had a chance to talk.
So I cannot sell package deals with the ticket and the bowling.
Yeah.
But what 100 Nickel has agreed to do is they are giving discounted bowling on the night of the concert.
That's fun. Okay, that's
so
killer.
We have 250 music tickets that we have to sell for this benefit show. We haven't agreed yet on a ticket price. I was thinking somewhere between $15, $20.
Yeah.
It was $20. We make $5,000 off of those ticket sales alone, right?
Yep.
What we're going to do is, so the Mighty Holler, but Dan, who recently got married, we interviewed him at Renewal. His band is actually having a CD release the week before on November 9th. So they're going to have a bunch of new stuff to be playing. We are going to be doing this on November 15th. So it is a Friday show. We haven't gotten the official times locked down just yet. We're thinking about anywhere between 6 and 9, 6 and 10 to give people time after work and to come and hang out, donate to a great cause, listen to some amazing music. I publicly shamed my boys in Magoo last week in the episode, and I tagged them on the interwebs and said, hey guys, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry for doing this. And you know what they did almost immediately? Fucking confirmed. Responded and confirmed.
Let's go.
So,
dude, I can't fault someone for that. I'm so bad about that, where someone will send me an email or whatever, and you look at it and you're like, I'm gonna get to that in just a second, and then it's a month later.
Well, dude, life happens, right? Like,
yeah,
people don't understand. For these bands that are up and coming and that are fucking trying to make their way, they have regular jobs. They're trying to get any shows that they can play to make money and get some exposure as their own. And all of these bands have been so fucking phenomenal because they are donating their time.
Yeah,
we are not paying them at all. So when you guys come to this bluegrass and bowling show, hit up their merch, buy shirts from them, make sure that we're supporting the people that are supporting us. And we're super excited to have Magoo headline this bitch. And we're going to throw a hell of a party and try to enjoy as much of this as possible. So now the hard work comes, like Shay said. We're reaching out to people. We have some people inside of our circle to help build us like a poster. It would be amazing for us as poster junkies to potentially have a show poster for this event so that we can raise even more funds. If anything, you'll be seeing mock-ups and social media posts from us rolling this stuff out so that we can get the word out. So what we're asking you guys as our fans and our supporters is, please help us share this show, sell these tickets. I am going to be 1,000% honest. This is dead smack in the middle of the 3-day run of Daniel Donato and the Kitchen Dwellers. And the three of us who all have 3-day tickets to those shows.
we picked that date and we were so excited. And then we're like, oh man, there's something else going on.
I knew that date sounded familiar.
Yeah. I have no person. I don't, I'll go to the other nights and I love the Dwellers, but fortunately they're one of those bands that just to come through here so much that if something comes up, that's fine. It's for a good cause. But I don't want to ask people to skip that show and come to our show.
But what I'm going to fucking ask them, because you're a nice person, I'm not.
Buy a ticket.
Yeah. Buy a ticket and give it to someone else.
Yeah.
Buy a $20 ticket, give it to one of your friends, come and support Bluegrass. That is the best way that you can give back.
Because
there's also plenty of folks who only bought tickets for the mission and they didn't do the 3-day pass.
That's true.
And so those folks who didn't get their Cervantes tickets, come on out to our show, support Magoo as well as the Dwellers on Saturday night. It'll be a great time.
And I cannot stress this enough. Like this was, and shout out to my mom. She is now following us on the podcast. Hey Lynn, slam that like button, give us 5 stars.
Wait, time out. There's rules for this because people are fucking up our reviews. If you have not listened to at least 2 minutes of 5 different episodes, they will only allow you to give us 4 stars. Okay. So as much as you fucking love us, don't go and hit and only give us 4 stars because it actually drove our reviews down. So fucking go and check out some more bullshit. Mom, I promise that I don't swear in every episode. David Gans, I didn't swear once. My mom was like,
you were so good.
My mom was like, holy shit, Cody, what? That was like actually not. I was like, Mom, I was so fucking scared. Shay called me after that interview. He's like, bro, I've never seen you nervous before. I was like,
yeah.
I was literally
hands, dude.
Yeah, like you don't fucking give a shit because you're not a deadhead. But he taught me how to turn you into a deadhead. And so like we are trying to figure out how to do this. We are evolving and growing in what we're doing and how we're presenting the materials that we're putting out. But we really wanted to focus really, really hard for these couple of weeks after it's all kind of lost its lore, right? Like a lot of people aren't even talking about Hurricane Helene anymore. And what they don't understand is there's motherfuckers out there sleeping in houses that are ripped up with just blue tarps stapled as a wall, right? And so anything that we can do is going to help us.
I wanted to finish what I was going to say though.
Oh, Lynn, yeah.
I have a lot of, I'm just gonna cut you off. The reason I was talking about my mom is because my mom is not going to be able to fly out here to see that show, but she's going to buy a couple tickets and then she's going to send them to somebody that lives out here that she knows, and that's as good as a donation. So like, I want to reiterate that over and over again. Like, if you can't make it, that sucks. We want to see you there, but you could still buy a ticket because the money, regardless of how many people can physically be present, all that money goes towards hurricane relief. So that's a big, because I've already had people say,
that's right.
I've had multiple people say, I want to go, but I can't go. And I'm like, that's great. Buy a ticket anyway. Give it to me. I'll give it to somebody else. That's fine.
Well, and that's why what we'll do on our socials is like, whether it's people that are affected, or we can do all sorts of contests or whatever the fuck we want to do. To be perfectly honest, now that we're locked in, I have been reaching out to some of my connections in the local news media. So don't be surprised if you see us on your local television station, not swearing. No. and to be perfectly honest, I may even, if I can, get one of the bands to come with me, so that they can play a song on one of those morning shows and help us get some of the word out and continue to build momentum. So for us, this is a music community involved podcast. This is a music community nonprofit that we're building. You do not have to be here locally in Denver. I'm actually talking to somebody in Virginia Beach, Virginia, who is trying to throw their own benefit show. And he's like, bro, I know all the bands. What are the conversations that you're having with venues? How are you doing this? And I'm trying to walk him through. So if anybody needs help, we will do the best that we can to walk you guys through some of this stuff. I helped write a letter for him and basically line out what we're doing. I know that I sent you guys some of the letters and the messages because I have been slipping into so many motherfuckers' message boxes lately.
Just sliding into those DMs,
just copy and paste,
bro. Yeah. Well, and so what I do is I copy and paste the bulk of it, but then at the very beginning I personalize it, right? Like, hey, Hoffman, I'm so sorry I talked shit about you, but I really love you. And here's what I want.
Well, we do love him.
Baby, I didn't mean it.
I did a little bit, but fuck you, Hoffman. But like these guys are dope. And what's nice is like, hey, sometimes you get left on red and shit happens and people have lice, but then you have people like fucking Andy Frasco who doesn't owe me shit. That's like, hey, bro, I'll give away vinyls. I'll give away 2 tickets. We'll give them a VIP package. Like, that's fucking awesome, right? Like,
that is awesome.
Now people can go and meet their other favorite musicians by supporting a cause and potentially buying a ticket that they would want to buy anyways, right? So for us, what we're trying to do is put this together. If you guys are local vendors, if you're artists, if you have, I mean, I've had tapestries donated. I've had artwork done. Dude, somebody donated a Telecaster. I don't even play the fucking guitar. There's a guitar on there, and guess what? Not a single fucking bid. So we got to get this out. We got to get it in front of people. I want to share it as much as possible. And then I also want to listen. As much as I talk and cut everybody off constantly, we're doing this to start a conversation and to do it together. And so I don't know if you guys have any additional thoughts that you wanted to throw in there, but for me, that's my plea to fucking let's go and kill this thing.
We need to get the bids up. And then there's not been because I've had a few people ask me like I've talked to people that I know and they're like, well, I haven't seen anything for this. So be careful what you wish for. We're going to start throwing this stuff out there a lot heavier. And I would assume too, if you talk to the news, there's going to be a lot more coverage of it, which hopefully we can get some of that up there. Just to sell some more of these. So
and that's why I'm pushing it to Friday, because realistically I would love for us to get on and me to try to get somebody to come with me. Otherwise we can go as the crew and go and get in front of people and spread the message. But right now it's about exposure. On social media, like on our podcast, we have like 500 followers, right? So it's not a ton. We have a shitload of viewers, which is surprising to me, right? Like some of our last YouTubes have done over 1,000 views, and on Spotify, we're getting over 1,000 views on Spotify. So we continue to grow this podcast. And what I want to do is focus on the good. I know that I'm a fucking troll and there's people that whatever. That's definitely part of the game too, because fuck you guys. But what we're focusing on now is doing this for the positive, right? And for me, this doesn't do anything for any of our pockets. What it does is it helps the people that are in need. And we need to raise as much money as we can. Some of these items, like we have items for $10, right? There's all sorts of things that you're doing. We also have items that we are going to be raffling off now. So like we said before, go to one of those QR codes of one of the nonprofits that we have listed, make a donation, shoot us a message, tell us that you made a donation, give us a receipt. I will put you in for the raffle, right? We want to build this as much as we can. And that's kind of where we're at. And I don't know. I'm going to go until I'm blue in the face, right? We will not be doing another episode about it until after the benefit show. But like a lot of these items are for not this weekend, but next weekend. So let's get some of this shit done.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's go, boys. Let's try to get on the radio station this week too.
Yeah. Oh God, how hard is that to do?
Probably get on hard.
It's all about connections, right? And it's just talking about people and making sure that that's why you never know what one of our listeners know. They're like, oh my God, my girlfriend's a producer, blah, 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 blah. And you're like, wait, what the fuck? Yes, please. Like, we're asking people now, please help us get this message out. With the work that I've done in the past, I have had viral moments where I'll talk about one thing that I did called the McRib Run. So being a fat ass that everybody tells me that I am on the internet, I was working with a realtor and she was talking about how she loved the McRib sandwich. I grew up in Hawaii.
I also love McRibs.
Well, you're disgusting. But so growing up in Hawaii, if you ever see those commercials about those specialty items, there's two places they never fucking have those things, okay? Hawaii and Alaska. So I had never had a McRib when this happened like 8 years ago. And I was like, well, what the fuck is all about this? And so the internet being the wonderful place that it is, on Twitter, I found a McRib locator. And so you can type in your address and it'll show you where the closest McRib McDonald's is. Well, little did I know at this time, they were not selling them in Colorado at all. But they were selling them in a town just 7 miles on the border of New Mexico.
Ugh, that's a long drive for a McRib, bud.
It's not too bad.
So listen. So this realtor and her husband, they have sports cars and fancy things. And we were just going to do it for us. Like, all right, let's fucking drive down. So we're in this Audi S8 fucking ripping down. And I was like, you know what? This is a quest for the people. So being the movie junkie that I am, you remember the movie Cannonball Run?
Mm-hmm.
So Cannonball Run is when they drive from one New York City to the other coast, or from LA to New York City, whatever fucking way it was. And they try to do it as fast as they can. So with my Photoshop skills, I was Grimace. I made them into Ronald and the Hamburglar, and all of our crew was different people. And I remade the poster for the McRib Run. And I then started posting it in community groups. And I was like, oh, this is a quest for the people. Who else wants a McRib sandwich? Bro, the fucking comments of all these other slobs that wanted a McRib sandwich.
just everyone crawling out from under their rock, these animals.
Bro,
yeah.
So what we do
I
is
love the McRib though.
We get the heat bags, right? For like hot food. I called down to this McDonald's the day before we go down there. And I was like, at the point, we only needed like 50. And I was like, hey, what would happen if I needed to buy 50 McRib sandwiches? And they're like, well, we could probably do that. Just let us know before you come in. So the morning of Friday, I call in and we're up to 200 fucking requests for McRib sandwiches. So I call this fucking New Mexico McDonald's, and I'm like, hey, we're coming down. This is our estimated time of arrival. I need 200 McRib sandwiches. We're in this S8, and we fucking rip down there. I'm doing live videos of the girl calling and talking to people, letting them know what was going on. Nobody knew why we were doing this. We get there. The general manager for the whole fucking district is at McDonald's to like welcome us. We got like a CVS style fucking receipt with 200 McRibs. I have pictures where we stacked them all into the dainty little trunk of the S8. And we all took pictures with the entire crew of the McDonald's, the fucking general district manager, all this shit. And then what we said is, here's our estimated time of arrival. And we were driving back to Colorado Springs, and we said, meet us here, and we'll give you a McRib sandwich. So I had never had one. I was actually keto at the time. And so I'm like, well, fuck, I got to eat one. So I eat one right before we leave. And you guys, I got so fucking sick. We made it.
I bet.
We made it 15 miles. And I'm like, bro, pull over. I'm literally vomiting over the guardrail.
It's good for you.
Dude, it was a cleanse, right? And obviously I can't talk about any of this shit. So then we drive up. This person was a realtor, and we put in these cards that said, if I would do this for a sandwich, think about what I would do to help you buy or sell your home, right? So it was like fucking sneaky shit. I got a call driving home, and they're like, hey, is this Cody Nottingham? Because I'd been posting all this shit on social media and what was going on. And I was like, yeah. And he goes, oh, I'm a producer at 9 News. I'm going, what? He's like, yeah, can you talk about your story? I've been following you on Twitter and on Facebook.
That's amazing.
Bro, so Kyle Clark has me on at 4:00. And I'm telling Kyle Clark my story of what the fuck we're doing, what's going on. They re-air it at 5:00, 6:00, 9:00, 10:00. And they keep 3-minute story of the McRib Run and all the group of people drive to New Mexico for McRib sandwich.
Yeah.
We wake up the next morning. It had gone viral nationally. The first thing that popped up when you typed into McRib on Google was Colorado group drives to New Mexico for the McRib Run. It was in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, St. Louis, like all over. It just fucking blew up. So then I started doing, who was it? Like Kathy and somebody in the morning, one of the radio personalities here. And you better believe I'm going to fucking figure out what those names are and reach out to them. And they had me on and talked to me, and all this shit happened. You want to know the best part? I had done all this for my client, which was the realtor. She hated that they were talking to me about it and not her. And,
I could see that, yeah.
And she fired me.
Oh, buddy.
No.
Oh, dude, the best part is she went on to do like, because she was a big time realtor. She went on to do like national conferences and things like that. And she would pretend that it was her idea and that she had created this McRib Run. And so I was like, okay, I'm just going to let that one die. So this is my first fuck you to that, because it sure as shit wasn't. But there was another year where I dressed up as Ghetto Santa Claus, and I had a short client of mine dress up as an elf, and we went into downtown and we were pillow fighting as Santa Claus, and I went viral for that. So if I got to do,
we could probably recreate that.
That's what I'm saying. If I have to do some stupid shit for us to get this out there and to build us some momentum, fucking throwing chairs that got 3 million views. It was fucking stupid, right? But this is actually for a positive cause. So what I'm saying is
I found the story on 9 News, by the way. I was just looking for it, but continue.
Oh fuck, no, you didn't.
It's still out there, dude.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Cody Nottingham, comma McRib. First thing comes up.
There we go.
Yes, dude. I'm a bullshitter, but I'm not a bullshitter, right?
Yeah.
So like it is real. And for me, if we have to do something to create more attention, to bring some more attention for us to do this, let's fucking go. And I am stoked to do this with you guys. I can't be happier about why we're doing this. And to see the response, again, a huge fucking kudos to the men and women of Highway Prayers for Appalachia, because to fill a fucking U-Haul at a show, right? That is a huge ordeal. And then not only that, but to get all the financial donations that they did, fucking golf clap, baby. Like,
man, some of the stuff you were talking about, it's just shit that I don't even. So like when you tell me, like, that's so cool, because when you tell me like, oh, they got donations, like obviously my first thought is money. I mean, that's good. Everybody needs money. But like the stuff like feminine hygiene products, never would have thought of that. Heaters, chainsaws, all that kind of stuff. It's all the like, I mean, the real basic stuff is what helps the most. I'm sure I would be shocked if they didn't need as much bottled water as they could get, things like that.
Well, and what's surprising is water was one of the things, because what happened was we recorded our episode with Robert and Chris, or Robert and Dennis. And then what actually happened was I recorded another portion. If you guys would actually listen to our podcast, you fucking dickheads. I did another 10 or 15 minute section with Chris Willis from What You're Talking About Willis on Facebook. And we talked about those things. And he said, surprisingly, they don't need clothes. They don't need water. What we talked about was, think about outdoor living in the wintertime in the Appalachian Mountains. What is it that you're going to need to survive that? And that's what they need. And then obviously the biggest thing is when you can get gift cards. The hardest thing for a lot of these people right now is still clearing debris and getting roadways open to be able to come and go, because even weeks out, it's still fucked. So getting those donations to Home Depot gift cards, like that's why I was so stoked to see that they got not one, but 2 chainsaws donated to them, because that was on the top of the list of some of these local nonprofits that we've been talking to of shit that they needed. They said, hey, we need
now,
more.
Is this all just from one show, or is this?
So this was just from the 2 shows in Huntsville. They did it.
Okay,
Friday
2 shows in Huntsville, or one run, yeah.
Yes, one run, Friday and Saturday night in Huntsville. That was it. And I know that there's more shows, because like Goose is doing a benefit show this weekend in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. So what I want to do is try to spread it out. If there's other people that are willing to do this, we can promote it. We can get it out to people. We can get people to show up to these shows and bring it. The problem is for us here in Colorado, we can't be the boots on the ground, right?
Yeah.
So that's why we've been partnering with people. We don't want them to feel like, well, fuck, how do I do this? Well, even if you have a fucking trailer and a Suburban and you have the time and are willing to do it, because we'll donate the funds to get that gasoline to get you from lot to wherever the fuck we need to go. But that's where coming together and bringing us together as a music community for the right cause, it's fucking exciting, right? And I know that we can continue to do this.
Yeah, I mean, it's just keeping the momentum going. I'm consistently shocked at how little people are still talking about it. Like, I mean, in my circles, people are talking about it all the time, because I've got a bunch of people that live in that area. I only recently found out that a friend of mine had moved to Asheville a few weeks before that had all happened, and then same thing with some friends that had had flooding in other areas outside of Asheville. Like, but it's unfortunate that we are so close to a presidential election, because that's the thing that's going to generate the most revenue right now for news organizations. It gets the most clicks. That's just how that beast works. Like that is the 24-hour news cycle. You can get out of its way, or you can bitch about it, but you can't really change it. And like it's just not in the news at all anymore. So
because it's not sexy, right?
Like, no, it's not. And the cleanup part is not. It's like watching, talking about the hurricane and how powerful it is, and getting to say the word millibar a bunch. That's very interesting. But
is that a different kind of Xanax?
Yes, Cody, it is. Well, that is exactly what
Listen,
it is.
It's the music community. I know somebody else out there laughed at that joke. Okay,
let's go waka waka.
Yeah.
But then once that part's done, it's just realistically, it's just people putting their lives back together, and that's not a exciting or sexy thing to watch. So the local news, or not local news, covers it, but the national news won't. So, it's hopefully. I actually had somebody, when I told them about this the other day, they like blinked, and then I asked them what was wrong, and they're like, "Well, I just feel like that was weeks and weeks ago," and I was like, "No." It was like the last one was like a week ago, and then it's not even been a month since the first hurricane, right?
No, it's only been 3 weeks, man.
I mean 3 weeks, 3-4 weeks, something like that. So it's like that's just the human attention span now has been destroyed. So you have to keep turning people's heads to look at the stuff that matters so they don't forget about it.
Well, and that's why we got to come together as a group. And I feel like we're using our voices in the right way to continue to remind people that this isn't going away, right? As much as it's easy for you to go and cuddle in your bed and get under your comforter and have your warm house, there are thousands and thousands and thousands of people who don't have that opportunity, right? And the other thing that a lot of people don't understand is insurance companies will do everything that they can to get out of paying claims to help these people rebuild, right? And so there are people that didn't have insurance or they're getting their claims denied for whatever it may be. I remember that in Hawaii, when the Lahaina fires were happening, they were saying that, oh, well, the home didn't burn down and it was actually a flooding damage that ruined the home, not the fires. And you don't have flood coverage. So
yes.
So you're not actually going to get this rebuilt. Like, what the fuck? And not to say that we're going to be able to come and replace some of that, but every little bit helps, right? And if you can give somebody something that restores their faith in humanity, and then for us to like restore knowing that us going to concerts and loving music is more than just listening to shows and going to shows, right? And understanding that you have other fans, because like, how big is that venue at Orion? 17,000, 16,000?
Something like that, yeah.
I mean, it's a huge fucking venue. Think about all those people. It was only a small percentage of them that brought stuff. But that's going to make a huge fucking impact. So for us, we got to continue to do this. We got to continue to get it out in front of people, and we got to figure out a way to make it sexy again, right? And so I don't know if you've ever seen Cortland from Magoo play the mandolin with his shirt off, but that right there is sexy. So we're going to get that motherfucker on stage, and we're going to bring some heat, and we're going to try to raise as much fucking money as possible. And I'm sure that there's tons of people that are like, oh, fuck this, I don't want to listen to this, or whatever it may be. This is for the handful of people that do, right?
Yep.
Because that's what it is. And we'll go back to having slapdick conversations with other people. Actually, I booked another guest for us. I don't know if it'll be next week or the week after. But do you remember the dude that got arrested in Cary before the Billy String shows? And then he's sitting there, dready dude, sitting there, hands behind his back, 3 fucking undercovers that literally looked like quintessential undercover police, like fanny packs, fucking socks and Birks, like everything.
I had read about it, but I hadn't seen it. Yeah.
Okay, well, that guy's name is Jerry. I call him Carrie Jerry, and he has agreed. He has agreed to come on and tell us his story. So I don't want to ruin any of it, but fucking him and I have been chatting for a hot minute, and boy, does he have a fucking story. So it'll be interesting to continue to share some of that stuff. I've had vendors reaching out. I will, again, I did this in a live video last week, and I will again shit on the narcissists that are trying to promote their own goods. I had people reaching out to me being like, hey, can I come on and talk about my store and what we're doing? And I'm like, yeah, here, tell me a little bit more about what's going on. And they're like, oh, we make these goods and a portion of the funds are going to go to helping people. And I will tell you, from the poster community, the pin community, the music community as a whole, when you hear a portion, that's usually a cash grab, because they're giving fucking next to nothing to these organizations to actually help. And all they really care about is selling these fucking goods to line their own pocket. And so I shared the screenshot with you boys of one of the conversations I had with some people. I had a few more that I just have, and I'm not trying to be abrasive, or I'm not trying to be a dickhead, but what I am trying to do is protect this, right? And what I have said and I want to say on this episode is, if you are not donating all of the proceeds to the victims of Hurricane Helene or Hurricane Milton, you will not be getting a shout out from us here. You will not be given a platform to sell your goods. If you want to come and be our Wook of the Week down the road where we highlight an individual and what they're doing, then maybe I'll do that. But if you start the conversation with a self-centered, narcissistic, line your pockets mentality, I'm going to fucking shut that down right away. And I was sadly not surprised how many people went about that way, man. It's fucked.
Yeah, I mean that's normal. That's that's like a lot of time, and it's sometimes when you go to stores to I'm trying to think of the there's a term for it, but a lot of stores will ask you to round up to the next whatever or donate an amount of money when you're done checking out, and a lot of that is just so they can write off taxes, and it's like it doesn't generate a lot. It depends on the store and what the charity is and all that stuff. But this just kind of comes back to what we said at that last episode, is that any kind of charitable organization, you're looking to get involved with, just make sure you check to see where the money's going. Because, there are some out there that are less reputable than others that will do stuff like, yeah, we're donating a percentage. Literally, that's what they say is that, and this is a big red flag. If they just say, quote, a percentage of profits will go to insert charity, that could mean you made $1 million and then gave like $1,000 based on whatever.
But that's a percentage.
It is, yeah. So like, and something's better than nothing.
Shit.
But
not in that sense, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Not in that sense.
And if you're gonna get into donating and like doing charitable stuff, you need to make sure you just vet the organizations you're working with, because you can actually go down a really long rabbit hole of like charity nonprofit scandals on Wikipedia.
Oh, and it's
there's a lot of them. Yeah, absolutely.
Full of them. And that's why I want to make sure that everybody knows that every dollar that we're bringing in is going out. Nothing is coming back to us. It is all going to these vetted nonprofits that we have reached out to, that we will confirm that are getting those donations. For the large organizations that are donating us items, we're giving them those receipts so that they can see, and yes, they will get a tax write-off, which is important, because they should be able to save money, but that shouldn't be the reason why you're fucking doing this, right? We're still trying to work out the kinks on this, but there's something called the North Carolina. Well, it's not wine, it's beer. The North Carolina Brewers Guild has actually created a specific IPA recipe that they are willing to donate to any brewery to then brew that North Carolina IPA, and all the proceeds from that beer would then go back to the Brewers Guild to help build back, pay some of the employees who have lost their jobs at those breweries. And then we're actually talking to them about creating like an adoptive brewery situation where Colorado is one of the largest influx of breweries in the entire nation. North Carolina is in the top 5 too. So for us,
send me some info on that, will you?
Of course, I definitely will. Because that's the shit that's important. And for us, if we can connect, and obviously Jared has a fucking huge connection. So it all starts with a conversation, but a lot of people don't know this stuff, right? And for us, the only reason that we're finding out about it is because we're talking about it. So hopefully somebody has listened to the fucking 50 minutes of this podcast and gotten to this point, and they're like, oh my God, I know Chuck from this brewery that can fucking do this. Calling you out, Chuck. There's other
Maybe we can just do it in your basement, Cody.
Well, I don't know if they want that kind of hooch. I got some
what's the reason for this? Bathtub gin.
I got this eucalyptus rug funk I'm selling. We're like, oh, it's got a hint of dog piss.
Yeah.
Wunderbar. But no, man, like, I'm just trying to figure out the best way to continue this conversation. I'm super fucking stoked for the benefit show, but my biggest thing right now is driving fucking donations, getting people to bid on these auctions. I mean, there is shit that have no bids that I'm like, this is fucking cool. Like, how do we not know about it? But that's because we haven't gotten it out. So the shitty thing about social media and algorithms is I can't say like, share, and comment on this post, because they see that and they flag it and they degrade it in the algorithm. So what I need to do is say it on here and say, go like our shit, share our posts, comment on it, tag fucking people. I've had so many vendors that are like, oh, I saw so-and-so donated something. I wanted to donate something. So then we're getting shirts, we're getting stickers, we're getting jewelry, we're getting whatever the fuck. Like somebody else was like, hey bro, can I give you a bunch of marijuana seeds? And I was like, I can't sell them, but we can give them away. And so that will be one of the raffle things is I think it's like Kazoo Chronic or something like that. In Michigan, this dude's a grower and he's putting together a little package to fucking send out. Now, the liabilities and all that fun stuff will be a whole different thing that we will go through before we put anything on the website. But we're not going to say no unless it is putting anyone at jeopardy. We just want to fucking do this. And I'm going to beat this fucking horse dead until it ends up like this shag rug in the dungeon.
My poor rug.
It stanks.
It doesn't even fucking stink that bad, you guys.
No, it wasn't. It's not bad now. It was when it first, but I don't know. Now it's just fun to get. He's very self-conscious about his stinky rug.
Clearly.
Listen, well, I mean, as I should be. So, Jared, you weren't on last week, but I told Shay, I was like, bro, for a Halloween episode, I want to dress up as you, and I want you to dress up as me. And then we can have fucking opposing fucking... But now I got to figure out, maybe...
The two of you are going to swap?
Well, and now, I mean, with you, I feel
Fire.
like... No, I feel like we can add more to this mix and get it done. But, like, I'm a big fucking Halloween guy, and I feel like it'd be a fun, stupid little thing to do.
I need to put some effort and thought into a costume this year. Last year I was ahead of the curve and I had everything figured out that I wanted to do ahead of time, but this year it's completely up in the air at this point.
Dude, last year, so my family, every year we do, I'm extra, everybody can fucking put that together. Every year my family does a family-themed costume, and then my girls pick like an individual costume for what they want. Last year we were in Kanto, and I was Luisa, the strong sister, and then I bought fucking inflatable donkeys, like helium donkey balloons. And then I had them on my shoulders, and I walked around with.
They were ice cold. They weren't helium.
They were ice cold fatties, 2 for $30. Right. They were jumbos for sure.
2 for $30.
Ooh, I mean, dude, these donkeys were large, bro. This is gonna get you to flop out real easy. But so this year, my girls have been super into witches and hocus pocus. So
you told me about this,
sisters and sisters, huh?
Dude, the Sanderson sisters, 100%.
Sanderson. Oh, I don't even know.
So my baby is going to go as Danny. I'm going as, surprise, the fat one, Mary. And then my wife and my mom, or my wife and my daughter, Logan, are going to be the other Sanderson sisters. So
awesome.
Be on the lookout for that. And then I also have a super dope, I've never done this before, but somebody invited us to, what was it? A state stereotype costume party. So
that's funny.
So you come dressed up as like a state stereotype, and then people try to guess who you are. Bro, I brought Nicole to Goodwill last week, and we found like this fucking floral jumpsuit that she is going to make the most perfect sister wife ever. It's going to be good. Going to make those Mormons proud.
Do it. I believe in you.
I thought you'd for sure just wear the Packers hat and be from Wisconsin.
I mean, the easiest one would be to go as a fucking douchebag Hawaiian tourist, right? But I am not doing that. I picked another one that's a little offensive. Surprise, surprise. So well, you'll have to follow me on social media to find that one. But yeah. So, I mean, is there anything else you boys wanted to chat about before we wrap this up?
No, sir. Not me personally. Just let's get out there and bid on this stuff, people.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to have stuff $10-$20.
I mean, every last dollar helps, right? So, I mean, even if you can't fucking donate and you send it to your rich friend that can, that helps too, right? Like, they don't even need to listen to the podcast. They don't need to do shit. Just send them what's the reason for this.com/relief and say, hey, go bid on some shit. Go bid on some shit. Let's raise some money. Let's get some shit done. Let's help as much as we can. I'm going to work fucking diligently to get us on the news. And then we'll also try to find out what other stupid shit I can do to promote us and and get this out there and continue to build and also support these fucking bands, right? Because for these, it's not just 1 or 2 people, right? These are bands with 4 members, 5 members, 3 of them, right? So that's 15 people that are giving up their time away from their family and their loved ones to come and do this for nothing in return other than the love of the music and the love of what we're doing. And somehow the 3 of us fucking talked them into doing this. And so now let's fucking do it, and let's do it big. What's dope is the Mishawaka, so that we don't have to deal with the third-party bullshit that we have with the auction site. The Mishawaka is donating their ticket system, so everything will go through their ticketing, and then what they'll do is they'll cut us a check to donate to our nonprofits. So it's going to work out fucking great. I'm excited to see, first off, if we can talk somebody else into making us a poster. Otherwise, I'll fucking doodle some shit and fold it.
We'll get us a poster.
I got my fingers out there. My primary contact on that also has the misfortune of being very successful at her day job, so she's very busy. But I think I'm working on that this week. So hopefully we get something turned out. And then if not, I would love to see what ridiculous bullshit you come up with.
Oh, you better know. I'm going to make one anyways, just for fucking social media posts.
Oh, yeah. Something with the QR code that you can just print out and just stick on the wall.
Just fucking get. And then we need street team for, like, think about, like, who does a great job? Like Bumpin' Uglies in their fucking social media group. They're like, oh, we're going to this city, this city, this city. Who wants fucking flyers and stickers? Go hit the street team. We need a fucking street team. It's going to be in Broomfield, so we need 30-mile radius. That's close enough for people to want to drive, and go fucking stick this out in coffee shops, stick this out wherever we can. Let's get this out to as many people as possible. I will do some clown shit. Obviously, I will fold the poster and throw a chair in the same video because now I am a fucking fraction of myself, and this is just who I've become. So this is what we're gonna lean. This is what we're gonna lean into, and we're gonna fucking do it.
That's okay. That's okay, buddy.
It's not okay, bro.
It's only 250 tickets. We got this.
I know, it's not shit. Although I will say my favorite part about renewal, other than getting my refund, was fucking walking around with Shay on Saturday night and him being all drunk and angry, being like, do you know how many fucking people came up to me and be like, hey, you're the guy that does the podcast with that other guy.
Yeah, fucking asshole. That's me.
I had the first gentleman of chair throwing.
Yeah, the first gentleman of chair throwing. And then when I went to those Shadowgrass shows, there was at one point, like, I had one of those moments, where I'm sitting here, we're both looking at the stage and someone's doing one of these. Like, doing the double take. And then he like walked up to me. He's like, "Do you do a podcast with that chair guy?" I was like, "Yes, I do." That's a goddamn it.
At least Jared's got a cool moniker. He's the beer guy. Everyone's like, "Oh, hey, you're the beer guy." But like, fuck, I want to be the beer guy.
I mean,
you
can
do
beer,
that. It just means being an alcoholic, Cody. That's
No,
he's different kind of beer guy though.
Dude, he doesn't even fucking drink them that much. It's because he gives it to everybody.
Yeah.
Well, when was the last time you saw Jared drunk? Real talk.
I don't think I ever have.
We just need someone to give us free weed.
Yeah,
that's what I need.
There you go. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, that's a whole nother fucking ball game, and that's another episode, folks. Oh, and just to cover any bullshit, I finally locked in. We were talking about other guests and Carrie Jerry. Guess who finally locked in a time for a new episode that we definitely need after some of the bullshit that we.
Who?
Groove
Toby?
Safe, not Toby.
I'll say Toby. He's never wants to talk to us again.
No, I don't know if they're ever going to allow that. But Ashley with Groove Safe got back to me. We are going to have an episode. Groove Safe is creating an environment at shows and in our community in the proper way to talk to the opposite sex and what is warranted and not warranted.
That's why I've seen that.
And
I think
so
that's going to be a good one.
Do they set up booths?
Yes, they do set up booths.
I've seen booths in. That's why, yeah.
And they advocate, and after some of the debauchery that we dealt with in previous episodes, I felt like it would be a good opportunity to give the right people a platform and talk about the right way to do things. So I'm excited about some of that stuff coming up. We got a lot of shit in the books, boys, but right now what we're focusing on and what we're doing is Melodies of Relief. the fucking bluegrass and bowling benefit show, and this goddamn auction. So at that point, what's the reason for this.com/relief. Go get it, share it, bid. If you have any fucking questions, send us a message. Let's get shit done.
Let's do it.
All right, boys.
Love you, boys.
Love you.
I'm indifferent.
Shay never says he loves me. It's so
You
funny.
shut that off?
He doesn't even look me in the eyes anymore when he does it.